Vaabs.
Yes, boy. Welcome back to another episode of Vaabs Podcast. Yes, boy.
Vaabs.
I am your host, Captain Lebrazil. To the right of me is our beautiful, esteemed, gorgeous.
Talent.
Lucky to have him.
Aw,
So lucky to
I
have
missed
It's
you.
just we had a tiff in us, so I just wanted to say I love you.
We fought before this episode.
Yeah, David was just being so mean to me. It didn't make sense. Anyways, love him. But yeah, ladies and gents, we have a super big episode for you guys. As you can see, first episode out of the studio, but still bringing you the same amazing vibes. But with a guest this time. Davey, get us in.
Thank you for the introduction. Tonight's guest has made sure that disco and dance music has its rightful place along today's mainstream heavy hitters, with the help of curating all the best. With this comes an emphasis on crowd satisfaction while still playing some of the best tracks you could ever Shazam. And on the 7th of September, all the best returns to Troyville Hotel, where it all started to welcome spring and, more importantly, welcome festival season. Summer is back, even though it's spring. Everyone, please welcome kind regards.
In the studio.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for being on.
This is cool. This is cool.
100%.
I'm excited.
No, it's going to be exciting. I think ever since Twilight was our first interaction with you properly,
Yeah.
and you were the reason that we didn't jump in the pool and not stay because we were so tired and everything, and we were doing interviews there, and we were just like, let's just go, and then you're heard the music, and you're like, let's stay for a bit.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun this side. We want to relax for a bit.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love to hear that. Yeah.
Oh,
I think just on the Twilight side is that's what we try and kind of incorporate on that, a place for people to come chill out, chill by the pool, something a bit more on the mellow side.
no, because you can fall into a big trap at Twilight,
Massive.
and also
No.
those festivals as well, where it's trance is just constant.
No, we love it, we dig it, but don't want to do the same as everything else, and I think that's our biggest kind of thing at All the Best, is trying to bring something a bit different.
Nice.
100%. Speaking of all the best, quick, while we have all the people here, the most amount of viewership that we have in the episode right at the start, give us a breakdown of all the best party that you guys have thrown. To you. It doesn't matter what they think.
Sure. I mean, I think on that note, all our parties are the best,
No.
That's the idea,
All the
that,
best are all the
always
best.
trying to improve, always trying to get better, always trying to find new inspiration. And that's kind of where the name came from. It's let's take all these different angles and make the best of it. So yeah, there's a lot of focus on, I think the main focus is the people.
Yeah, definitely.
That's where our thing is, and try and getting all the best people together and in a comfortable space that they can express themselves, feel safe, feel comfortable, meet new people, and just have a good time.
That's nice. Was there anything missing, when you were going out to places, that you were we could do this, not better, but we could enhance on this experience or kind of tailor it to everything?
So it's a bit hard to say, but
Yeah.
a few years ago, I came across this new genre of music called indie dance. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's kind of what I play.
Slightly.
And I just wasn't hearing it when I went out. So I was just well, why don't I just play this,
Yeah.
all the music that I like, because there was a time in Joburg that I would only go out. I'm all about the music, right? So
No.
it was sometimes only the international artists, and I would have to wait, and I'd be like, I want to go out, but there's nothing that I'm really
It's
that's
in September,
really
it's
connecting
Feb
to.
now.
Yeah, nothing that I'm really connecting to. So, and this music is amazing. Why am I not hearing it out? So there was a few artists in particular that I used to kind of follow, and if they were out on the lineup, then I'd be like, cool, I'll go. But I think just something different and just something a bit more fun, a bit more funky, a bit more vocally, a bit more lyrical,
Yeah.
that was kind of the idea. Just no disrespect,
Yeah.
everything has its place, but I find Joburg, the music's a little bit more on the harder side, the higher BPMs, and prefer personally just the bit more funky stuff, the bit more vocals, something that you can relate to, something that and that's where kind of where I personally started DJing.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear about how I came into
Oh,
DJing.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if it's like relevant, but
Yeah.
it's not all the best. It's kind regards, but it was COVID in 2020, and we were all locked up indoors, and I was like, the signs that came out that like we're not supposed to interact in small confined spaces.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let me throw a party, and let's do it outdoors. So no one can get, the science has proven now that we can't get it outdoors, open spaces. So I rented a farm in Magaliesberg, rented some.
Just rented a
I rented like a sound system, some decks, a generator, and I curated a weekend for like 20 mates.
That's nice.
And food, and it was like kind of like a whole sensory experience. So like different toys and different things to like mix. And I've always had like podcasts, not podcasts, playlists.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Playlists on. So I kind of curated like morning, late morning, day, evening,
That's
and
quite
went to a
nice.
few mates who were DJs, and I was like, show me the basics, and that's how pretty much I started. And then how all the best kind of started was met a few other guys, Andrew, and Pedro and Josh, and often there was times where there was house parties and stuff, and they were like, guys, can you come play?
Yeah.
You're
So
like, damn
we-
right I can.
Yeah. In the beginning when you start DJing, you play everywhere. I would go to friends' houses and bring my
Pay
decks.
someone
And,
to play.
yeah, exactly. Just because it's hard when you're just sitting in your room, and just
Yeah.
playing to yourself. You want sometimes the reactions. So that's how I started, and we were just house parties here and there, and we kind of were like, okay, well, seems like we got something here. Maybe we should actually do our own things. Yeah. So I started with house parties, very small, very intimate, and then slowly grew. I mean, we're only about a year and a half
Yeah.
old, so it's still very fresh, still learning, still growing, but it's been quite an awesome experience so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the fun in starting where it's like, I didn't know how hard this would be, or like the challenges that would come with that.
Yeah, didn't know at all. But, yeah, we like I said in the beginning, we love the people and we want to do it for the people. So wherever we can improve and make people's experiences better, that's what we try and do.
I feel like the one thing that's very like apparent with all the best is that it is a family, like from the organizers to the people who go there. Like there's just something about it. It just feels different to other spaces. Like I know even though we were like at Twilight, for some reason I felt like when you went to that stage, there was a different vibe about it. It wasn't about like just raving. It was like there were people talking and like hugging and laughing and like 3 DJs behind the decks, even though only one's playing at this time. And it's like just catching the best vibes. What do you think it is about all the best that resonates the most with like your like jawlers, so to speak?
So I think we actually had this conversation with another mate the other day, and he was like, you guys are so different to the other promoters. And one of the big things that came out of it is that we don't see ourselves as promoters. We're not party organizers, we hosts. So we want to bring people into our space, and we want to make people feel comfortable. So often if we see a new face on the dance floor, we're like, hey, how you doing? How did you hear about us? Welcome. Can I get you anything? I think at the Twilight we might have had some water at the back. Help yourself to some water if you need.
Lifesavers.
Yeah. So the snacks, we bring out fruits. That's one of our things as well. So I think it's more like, I guess where we stemmed from the house parties is just that's your personal space, but now there's a few outsiders and make those outsiders feel comfortable. Yeah, that's my thing. I love hosting. I love people. Love having people in my space. So it's a lot easier for me. But I think that we share with all the partners. We all love the people and we all do it for the people.
100%.
So yeah,
The way you're describing it now, it actually does feel like a house party. Like when you're there, like you don't feel shy to go talk to someone, or like you see like groups intermingling and things like that. There's fruit boards and freaking watermelons.
Quintessential house party.
And cake. Yeah. The fruit that people actually take from this fruit board. Not at a house party.
And what is it like designing like a set for your actual parties, like that's having a living room in Troyville, and then also like when you play at Bloom or play at Twilight, where it's like you kind of get given a stage and you have to kind of work with it?
So we're very big on like curating a flow. So we generally have like groups of people, like the DJs performing on the day. We generally kind of say like this is what we're looking for at the time, and then it's going to progress. So for example, living room, we had most of our draws actually, we have a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, so what is everyone going to play? And then we're like, that's a bit too hard for that time of day. That's a bit too chilled for that time of day. Push it a bit harder. So we're very big on curating our lineups and making sure that there's a natural flow, because can't talk about everyone else, but personally, I don't want to be hearing hard techno at 1:30 and like 1:30 BPM at 10 in the morning.
Scream at boss.
So there's a lot of places, people that do, and respect to them. But I think that's from our side, like all the best. We trying to think of what's going to work for everyone.
Yeah.
So kind of maneuver and pace ourselves so we can get to a stage that we are still partying and it's still fun, and that's always the point, to get to a peak. But the other side of it is to have a natural progression, because there's nothing worse than having a DJ that's banging it and then it's too chilled, and then it's too chilled and it's banging it towards like
100%.
8 o'clock at night and you want to jaw, but it's too chilled.
It's the most chilled, yeah.
Yeah, it's the most chilled.
Where were you at 10 in the morning, my guy?
Exactly. So that's a big thing for us, is like getting the right people for the right time and putting a brief together of what we kind of trying to portray.
Yeah, 100%. It's almost like you're curating the whole vibe from like, I don't know. So for me, one of the questions that we had was like, what hats do you wear in all the best? And we spoke about it a little bit outside, but like, I feel like being a DJ, but also coming from a jawling background, but also now you're the one throwing the parties. It must be like an opgefok in your head. Like whenever you get there, it's just like, okay, I'm nervous about my set, but also where the fuck are the fruits? But also like people having fun and they enjoy. Also, am I enjoying myself? Like
100% is like, there's DJs on in 15 minutes, what's going to happen, and there's always things that happen, sometimes USBs don't work or people don't rock up or someone's sick or something. So there's always to be like contingencies, and I think we're lucky that we have a lot of DJs within our group. So like most people can slot in and play. But I think it is hard, because you want to make sure everyone's having a good time. You also want to have a good time yourself. You also want to, make sure that like the curation's right. It's not a simple science, but I think there's a lot of winging it. Just to answer your question, like, okay, this is working, great, let's do it again. If it's not working, maybe we tweak that a bit. You
should come 5 minutes late for your set again. It kind of worked.
Yeah. So I think also just giving a platform for a lot of upcoming artists and stuff, to show what they got, that resonates with us. So we all about bringing new talent, but we have like a procedure of doing that. And one of the procedures is come to our parties, see what we do.
Yeah.
Does this resonate with you? Is this the music that you play? Is it something? If it's not the music you played, is it something that you want to explore?
No.
Then let us come and see you perform.
Yeah.
And do we actually fit? Are we aligned with what we're doing?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I think it's nice because that stands with like a more not pillars, something like Maslow's pillars or something, but it's more like it fits into your
ethos.
Your ethos is the word, because it's like it's basically making sure that it's not gonna poison anything from outside like that.
For sure. We have an idea of what we're trying to do, and we want to spread the love, but you have to resonate and you have to attract. And I think from our point of view, it's also, other than the music and the DJs, it's about a culture.
Yeah.
Are you the right people? Do you share the same sentiments as us? Do you care about other people? Are you,
Are you there?
Are you respectful?
The best. Yeah. 100%.
Do you have ill intention? Not the best intention.
You can't play that.
No, we only about all the best.
All the best.
So if it's not the best, then
the name's there for a reason, buddy.
Yeah.
100%, man. So out of all the hats that you essentially wear, so like when throwing a party, which one's like your favorite? Like which one is the one that you enjoy the most, like that you gravitate towards when planning the party?
Oh man, like when I see a dance floor going off and I'm standing in the corner and the decor's popping and everyone's got smiles on their faces and everyone's hugging each other, I feel like a proud father, you know, like it was like, oh, like this vision that we had is finally coming to life, you know, like I think that's probably one of the highlights for me in with all of this. I wish I had the rest of the crew here with me as well, you know, just to discuss, because we all have our different things. And but yeah, when everything is just running smoothly and you can just see I think that's the biggest thing, is when people have smiles on their faces and people are having a good time, people's eyes are closed and getting lost in the music. You know, there's almost no better feeling.
100%. It must be so affirming as well, like going from, there's this genre of music that I like to play, or that I'd like to play and I like to listen to it. I don't know if other people do, because it doesn't exist that much outside of me right now. So then being able to see people resonate with that and being like, actually, I fuck with this a lot. Like I had a thought the other day about DJs, and I'm like, DJs are essentially just like hunters in a village who go off and then kill a music beast and then come bring it back. And then they're like, here's what I found. And then some people will fuck with the meat that you got. Some people think it's poisonous and they don't want to eat it. But like,
how do you get there? How did you get there? What type of analogies were you? What are the gatherers then?
Because I often think about like life, and I'm just like, everybody is their surname type thing. You know what I mean? Like so and so baker is a baker. So like so and so DJ is a DJ. He goes, he gets us tunes, and then he's like, hey, look at these. Do you like them? And it's like, yeah, I like them. Just to listen to them, play in your car, make them yourself, play them out yourself.
I think there's
for sure. I think it's like the same thing with, like the analogy with food. You know, not everyone likes the same food. Not everyone likes, you know, spicy food, fish, fish meat. You know, some people love red meat, some people don't. Some people love chicken, some people don't. Some people vegetarian. Some, like, you know, so everyone has their different flavor. And I think, just answering your question, it's people don't actually realize, like, when you're standing up there, like how vulnerable you're being, because you're like, this is what I want to hear, and this is what I think is going to work for this moment in time. And when it does work, it's a great feeling. But when it doesn't work, it's like heartbreaking, man. You're like, you're putting your soul out there, and you're like, oh, this song worked last time, but it's not working now, and this is not the right audience. And like, should I do this? Should I go here? Should I go harder? Should I go faster?
How do I fix it? Yeah,
exactly. You know, and naturally, there's always a mistake here and then. You're like, okay, well, made a mistake, and like, I think often myself, I look up and I'm like, sorry guys, and everyone's just having a good time, and like, oh, yeah, no one actually noticed. No one even know.
I've never been like, because one of our friends that we've interviewed as well, when he made a mistake, he paused and he just stood there, he's like, I'm so sorry, and then carried on going. It's like, I've never been like angry, like visibly like, I cannot believe this happened right now.
But yeah, I think also, like, the more you DJ, the more you're in events, I call it the DJ curse. You know, you notice it all, and sometimes it's hard because you're like, that was a great, like, I love it when it's good and you're like, yo, that was a good mix, and I know these two songs and I love how he's working this song, you know, mixing it into the other one. And sometimes you're like, I know this song and he's butchering it. Yeah. Or she's like, butchering it.
You could have bought it in a bit later.
Yeah. Why did he miss the second drop? It's the best part of the song, you know?
Oh, that's heartbreak.
Yeah. So I think
for drum and bass. Yeah, that's drum and bass chord, dude. If you hear a second drop, apparently you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, so everyone has their different styles, everyone has their different techniques, and but yeah, I think that's the beautiful part about it, is bring everyone, you know, different people, different ideas, different styles. And you know, at my original birthday party, you know, like, I prepared all this music, I'd done all the things, and people were chilling by the fire, and I was like, why is no one dancing? Like, hey, I've worked so hard for this. You know?
I've got 15 sets. Why aren't you guys up there?
Exactly. And my friend said to me, which was very valuable lessons, and it's always stuck with me, that, you know, all you can do is paint the canvas. Or you can leave the canvas. You can't paint it. You got to let other people paint it. So I think that's like, you know, you have to give the people the tools to do what they want to do. And how they feel comfortable and move in the way. You can't like police people and say, you know, this is what you have to do, dance here, dance there, chill here. But you just kind of leave the canvas open and let them create magic, because that's what, like, you've all been on a dance floor when it's like everything's just in what's the word, stir, you know, like in flow. Everyone's having a good time. Everyone's moving between the crowd if they need to move between the crowd. There's no animosity. There's no 100%. Hatred. There's always just loves and smiles, and everyone's caring for each other. Hey man, do you need some water? Do you want some lip ice? Do you want some this? You know, and there's no better moment than that. You know, I feel like that's when, like, all the elements come together and you like proper creating magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like
Yeah.
it's kickstarted itself and you're just watching it happen.
Exactly. And I think you just have to make sure that you've done what you can do, because it's never going to be enough. There can always be more.
Yeah.
But what you've done to your best of your abilities to create that canvas and let it go from there. Let the artist paint, you know.
Yeah. I think even back to like when you're saying no one is dancing, it's like one friend is playing and then she's like, if no one's looking at you with like bad faces, it means you're doing a good job as well. So it's just a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, it depends, because like
Oh yeah, they don't want to stay.
a bass face is pretty not great looking, you know. You're like, oh, that's the best compliment I can get. When people are like frowning at me,
This
like,
is better than anyone talking.
You're like, yeah, that's amazing.
I'll often block my nose and do that.
Exactly. And people are like, oh, is you messing up? It's like, no, that's stinky, man. I like that.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So in terms of your party on the 7th, so you guys are like relatively a very young party. I feel like you threw your first actual event last year, right?
Yeah, last year, November.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like you guys are just, I don't know, from your perspective, like your progression and everything like that, what has changed from like when you threw your first party last year till like now the build up throwing this one now in September?
Sure. I mean, a lot of lessons learned. Like I said, you know, there's always mistakes and there's always things to improve on. But I think the biggest thing, and I think the nicest thing that we get as, you know, as all the best, the collective, is it started off with a bunch of our mates, you know, like, hey guys, we're throwing a party, and it's like we genuinely knew a lot of the people at our parties. And now when we see like a crew of 20, 30 people that we don't know, we're like, do you know that? We're like, no. Do you know that? We're like, no.
Not at all.
Like we got randomers, and when you know, like you know, when we saw you in Parkhurst, you know, and like I was like, hey man, loved you from like, we love that, man, like just because like we put a lot of time, energy, heart and soul into it, and like when people come and appreciate that, like it feels good. It feels like, you know, we're doing this for the right reasons.
No, that's the best feeling as well, because it's like everything we've been doing has been for a purpose. It's not being like wasted, even though you won't see it immediately. It's
For
like
sure.
You'll
For sure.
get nuances.
Yeah,
Those nuances
100%.
are good.
It's like if you have like I said, no one comes up to you after, but then someone comes up to you like later in life and they're like, oh my goodness, I love that.
Yeah,
Like,
you got me
when
listening.
you did that set and you're like, oh fuck, I thought that this was like gash for weeks. And now like you've literally just like, I don't know, I feel like being in, like you said, it's vulnerability, like being in a creative space, and like especially like with things like DJing and like even throwing parties, is you leave yourself up to be kind of accepted by others. So it's almost like you, I don't know, I feel like it's exactly that. It's like you're just vulnerable, waiting for others to not validate what you're doing, but almost, or not validate or justify, but almost like attach to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what part of what I'm doing holds value. Like I feel like we also had that struggle for a while, where it was like we'd literally just show up every week and chat shit. And then people were like, yeah, but we like that. And then it was like, oh,
Why?
we started interviewing like event. Why? It's like we started interviewing like event organizers and DJs and things. And then people are like, oh, it's so cool. Like you're documenting what's happening in the scene. But for like months, we were like, dude, are we doing the right thing? Should we go back to just the other thing? Or is this thing cool? Or,
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And I think you never do it for that. You know, it's not, you never do it for the praises, you know.
exactly. Yeah.
But still feels nice. But a good friend of mine said to me, you know, when you get off the stage, you know if you did well or right, like well or bad.
Yeah.
And often I come off and I'm like, yo, I bombed that one, and everyone's like, oh, amazing set, and you're like, was it? And then you're like, okay, there's like a lot of people come up to me, you know. But
Yeah.
I think what she taught me is that whether they said it was good or bad, like that's their opinion. You know, you know yourself, and obviously as you know, artists or musicians or any people in the creative space, you know, you want to get it to a perfect level, and so we're always the most over analytical about ourselves, which is hard. But you have to know from within yourself, you know, like all these outside validations they're nice, they feel good, but it's not what it's about. You have to know for yourself. So like often when I finish a set, I go to the corner, just have a little breather, you know, just sit down, have some water, just like gather my thoughts, and then I'm like, okay, cool, now let me go back to the dance floor. Because one of the hardest things for me DJing is like all the eyes on me. Like I don't like being the center of attention, which is
And
which is
you're up
hard.
there.
Which is hard. And then you look up and there's all these eyes that you like either or like
Yeah.
like, what are you doing or
Like, do
whatever.
something else. Go dance
Yeah,
somewhere
like-
else. Go to another stage, man.
And there's also this, I don't know where people get off where they come and they're like, play this, and you're like, bro, like,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
firstly,
so
do you know how this
stressed.
works? Like, I downloaded this music, I prepared it. Like, I
Yeah.
can't just, play your Spotify and plug your phone in and play your song. And just because you think it's the song that's going to work or the song that you want to hear right now,
Mm.
Yeah.
doesn't mean that's going to work,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a challenging one. So if anything out of this, can you please stop with song requests?
Please stop with the song
I
request.
think it's even so because it's like they're not going to get blamed for it.
No.
Even if you have the song and then you do your best to bring it in, if it's bad, everyone's gonna be like, that was terrible from the DJ, not from
Yeah.
the.
Correct.
100%.
The responsibility is
They
all on
scot
you.
free there. That's just having fun.
Yeah, they disappear into the crowd and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, like,
Like,
it was that guy, and you're like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah. Who the hell requested this? He's gone.
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like there's something, and this is what I like wanted to say about your party is like in terms of like groove culture and jolling culture, it feels healthy for that. So
Mm.
like things like people requesting songs or not understanding certain things about jolling or like bombing out early or going too hard or things like that is like, I feel like Cyril's economy made very weak jollers, I'll be honest. Like I feel like
Elaborate?
what I remember back in the day, the way people used to party versus now, it's a different kind of energy. It's kind of, I don't know, it's either it's not for the music at all or it's like disrespecting the DJ or it's just disrespecting the people around you. I don't know. But also there were a lot of fights back in the day and I don't see that now.
Yeah,
yeah.
we're very lucky. We've never had a fight at our party.
Yeah.
Like never even had an argument.
I'd be so scared if there was a fight.
Yeah,
That-
I mean, we still have security and bouncers and stuff
Yeah.
for that, but thank God we've never had to use them. You know. But yeah, I think that culture's it's still somewhat there. And I think within certain circles and certain scenes, but the other side of it is there's a lot of people that just want to connect. I think going also through COVID, like we were locked up away, a lot of people were just yearning just to be with each other and be with crowds. Like I remember after COVID going to watch the rugby at Ellis Park with 60,000 people, and I was just like,
this is
this
amazing.
is so cool.
Yeah.
Like just people again, and like people being festive, and so I think that's the thing. And like I'm all about community, like you need more than one person to do something. And I think, I don't know, I probably shouldn't get into it, but the point is that we need more love and caring for each other. So yeah, we appreciate it if someone's fallen down or something, or someone's hurt themselves, or someone's tired. Like someone told me, like a friend of mine came to a party and he was like, he was head bobbing too hard and his neck was sore. And someone was like, and he was like stretching his neck, and then someone said like, "Oh, is your neck sore? Can I give you a massage?" And he was like, "You saved my life. That like my neck was okay and I could carry on partying. Like, let's encourage more of that. Like, hey man, like, I'm getting a drink. You want a drink? Not because it's a boy or girl or anything like any other, like oh, I have a chewing gum. Would you like a chewing gum because you're standing next to me? That's let's
100%.
No
let's
ill
give that, like,
intentions at all.
yeah, just some baseless love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a lot that someone saying as well. It's like a lot of DJs are just twisting knobs just to make sure that they're doing something because the song is playing and they're doing it. Like, you can't just be standing there like.
Even then, I actually wanted to ask because, like, with indie dance and things like that, the songs are long. Like, it's like 6-7 minutes. Like, what do you have? What can you do in that space?
Sure, there's lots. So I think within build-ups, bringing in little like drum loops and stuff like that to fill that space because like there's a lot of that like.
Yeah.
And then like build up and then a vocal or something. So just bring something else in there. Yeah, there's a lot you can do. But also, I think also with these long intros and long stuff, you don't play all of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah,
I think that's
100%.
also about the DJing is like choosing the right moment of the right song.
That's
to
a big
use.
thing, I think.
So sometimes there's a really good song and it's good from start to finish, but sometimes there's like a minute and a half intro,
Yeah.
and you're
You
like,
don't need that.
cool, but like it's just a kick drum and it's like and
Even then,
like,
play 30 seconds max.
yeah, exactly. And like how long is that gonna go for, yeah, don't know where we were up to, or
I think we were
I think that was just expressing
Okay.
his love for everything DJs do.
wedding
Behind the
DJs.
decks. Yes, he's not scared of a DJ. Fond of them, actually. So, what can you tell us about the party that's going to happen now on the 7th? Like, why should people buy their tickets? What's going to be different about this party? What can they look forward to? All of that.
Sure. So I think our last party in March was our second party. We brought a really talented DJ producer from Cape Town, and we've done the same this time. There's this guy called Yogurt. He's played quite a lot at Africa Burn. He makes his own music, and he's a lot of fun. Yeah, I think
Right.
that's what we call our music. It's funk.
Fun.
You know, fun with a K. You know, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the most important thing is have fun, and that's kind of what we're looking to bring out. You know, like something that's a bit different that people that wouldn't in the Joburg scene wouldn't normally hear, like you were saying earlier. And I want to just show people a different kind of side of what music is. You know, like dance music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
because we love it all and try and incorporate it all. But I think the side of it is let's bring something that's Joburg doesn't have enough of, in our opinion. You know.
And I feel like it is Joburg as well, because like you go to Cape Town and I feel like you hear similar styles of music. Like the first time I ever went to Movable Feast, and then the first time I saw you playing at the pool, I was like, oh, these two things were very similar.
Coincide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do resonate a lot with the Cape Town sound. But yeah, we're trying to bring it to Joburg, trying to bring it, you know,
Yeah.
bring some light-hearted fun into the city of gold, the concrete jungle, you know. Bring something, yeah. So I think it's just from all of our points is bring something different to what we already know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I think it's nice because that's what's like, music scene currently is very saturated with your mainstream genres, and even like your niches as well. They get very saturated. So it's like there's room for everything as long as you can present it well, and then like give it a space that people can listen
sure.
to it. I want to say eat with ease, because it's like if it's deep in town, it like further down, it gets a bit hectic. But it's like if it's worth it, then it's nice. Like,
But also on the same note of it, like how many subgenres are there? You know,
that's a big
like
spot.
within the trance scene, there's we can spend the rest of the podcast talking about subgenres just in house, techno, and trance. You know,
Yeah.
and I think we all kind of a subgenre of something. You know, I think the music that we play is disco's. You know, disco out of house, out of disco was born house. Out of, you know, like jazz was influenced into a whole bunch of different things. You know, disco actually influenced hip hop. You know, that was how it all started. Was that these guys MCing on the mics, you know, to disco songs.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, let's like change it a bit, you know, change the beat a bit.
Yeah.
And that's like, that was the first like rap was MCing over disco songs, you know,
that's
in
cool.
Yeah.
the 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I think it all kind of ebbs and flows in between. But finding what resonates with you and hoping really hard it resonates with other people. Because that's from our point of view. Like, we just want to bring people together and show something different.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying that, but
But I mean, that's
our goal,
that's
yeah.
the
It's the truth
ethos.
as well.
Yeah, that's ethos. Is fun music
Yeah.
and funky, groovy.
Definitely, yeah. And I feel like as well, it being like a genre that's not necessarily established. Like we do have like parties of like funk and disco and stuff like that in Joburg, but they feel like few and far between. And also like my question essentially is, for the future of all the best, like looking down the road, like from what you've started to like 10 years from now, is like, what's the goal? Is it to have it be like a monthly kind of party? Is it to have it to be a massive fuck you festival, please?
Sure. It's a hard one to say because, you know, I think just going back to it, like when our party at the living room, that was our inspiration. We were like, when was the last time you ever went to a disco party? You know, like a purely disco party. And we're like, okay, like it's not strictly what we play, but we're like, let's bring a disco party to Joburg and like perfect setting and beautiful sun, like, you know, rooftop. So we're always trying to just, you know, find something new. I think, if we could be throwing one-day festivals, outdoor venues, you know, like we have a lot of inspirations. You know, I don't want to leave anyone out, but, you know, we would love to do festivals. We would love to do things like that. But yeah, it's a lot of effort and work just to go into like our parties are like 12 hours, 2 till 2 or something like that. So or
Monthly
3 till 2. So
yeah.
just curating that's like a lot goes into it. If we can get any sponsors out there,
That's
Shout
shout out to the
Big
sponsors.
draw.
So we can grow, we can get bigger.
We need liquor. We need zins. We need more liquor.
No, so we lucky we do have some really great partners that
Yeah.
help us and assist us, and but yeah, I think that's the recipe is to going to the next level is getting collaborating, and that's what we're all about is just doing it with like-minded people and coming together. And maybe we don't play the same genre of music, maybe we don't listen to the same thing or have the same crowds of people, but let's do something together. Let's do something that's maybe a little bit of us, a little bit of you, and let's merge it. What's it? Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, 100%.
So we're all about working with other people, and growing. And my friend Andrew Sex and Dex, he's got a DJ course. He's teaching DJs. So there's nurturing and building new talent, and eventually trying to get them to play at our parties and try to get them to play at other places. So yeah, that's cool. So like, for example, there's these two guys, really sweet guys from Pretoria called Fish Tank, and they played at our living room party and they absolutely smashed it. So we're really happy with them, and like now they're gonna, the line has been released now. I can say we're doing a takeover on Sunday at Bloom, and they're coming to play for us again. And like, there's so many people that we want to play, but also we want, like I said about the curation, we some people's music we love them to play for us, but not at every single event would that music fit, So yeah, we'd love to get bigger, we'd love to do it more, but I think we need a community, I think one of our first things when we first started was the dream was that we could have a party with enough people that we knew to like not actually sell tickets.
Oh yeah.
And I think maybe that might be still the dream, like just have like a venue, and like we don't advertise it, but the people that keep coming back, and here's we're throwing a party, it's invite only.
That's cold.
Yeah, and it like fills out completely.
Yeah. But
That'd be nice.
it takes time, takes effort.
That does sound very Cape Townian as well.
Listen,
as soon as you do it.
we're not trying to exclude people.
No,
we're just trying to keep the people that keep coming back and look after those people.
Reward them.
Yeah, reward them and show something different. But yeah, I think it's about spreading the love. Like whatever background, whatever genre, wherever you're from, like, and if you resonate with us, we have all the time for you. If you want to bring different ideas, we're all open to it. A lot of our suppliers sometimes come to us and they're like, "Hey, I got this cool idea," and we're like, "Cool, let's do it.
That's cool.
Let's try this and see if it works."
That's nice.
We would love to get more people involved. So I think obviously there's a core group and we make the decisions and stuff, but like we have an extended suppliers kind of people that we go to, and we're all about building relationships.
Yeah.
So it's not about like the Troyvilles where we threw our first party and now we're throwing our third party there now, and like we're open to other people, but we want to build something that's ongoing, and have be on everyone's good side, be friends with everyone in the community.
100%.
Do you think it's do you think there's more growth, potential for having like those takeover events at festivals, or if it's like getting your word out for the actual like throwing big parties?
So it's hard, like we want to do it just because we want to spread what we're doing,
Yeah.
and the more places we can do it, the better.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a right or wrong. We love doing takeovers at other parties. We love doing dance floors at other parties. But I think that the more of that point is just, again, about building relationships with people.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing, you're great at what you do, but if you want a little bit of our touch, we can do it as well. Bring in Twilight Pool stage, which seems to become a fan favorite these days. It's actually really nice because previously there was another stage and it was more on the sand on the other
I
side.
always hear about this one.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of it.
Like,
I
everyone
wouldn't
talks
know
about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
And we got there and we were like, nah,
We want the
There's a
pool.
little rondavel over here. There's a little hut.
Yeah.
And it all first started out, we had 2 JBL speakers and like our DDJ 400 and a laptop
Yeah.
and a table. There was no decor, no nothing.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, we want to create a cool vibe for the people at the pool. So like, if you come, like, you don't have to, like, there's nice. It's a small dance floor. It's not a
Yeah.
major dance floor, but you know, we could kind of create something that you don't have to be on a dance floor.
Yeah,
You can still be
exactly.
listening, chilling in the pool and listening to music, and it's more chilled out, so you can be chilling and chatting to your mates and stuff, and still enjoying yourself by the pool.
That's
100%.
purely.
Yeah.
I think it's nice because that's like nice, not advertising, because it kind of takes away from the beauty of it and like the innocence. But it's like it's nice because it's easy way to get eyes on you, and it's like to show people in a quick succession what you're about, which is nice because it's like how we all found you.
Yeah, because I was even gonna, like, to your point, it's like you know what you want, you just don't know how to find it. It's like one day I was like sitting at home and I was like very like angry. I couldn't listen to UKG out. And then one of my friends, like, I posted on my story, and one of my friends was like, dude, come with me to this place in fucking Kensington. I promise you'll hear it. So then literally like got dressed, went, and then there it was. But it's like I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
100. So I
And
think like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Karen.
no, I was just saying, I think it's like cool to have that where a lot of people can find your guys' vibe and be like, oh shit, I've been looking for this,
Even by mistake. Yeah.
even by mistake. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think like I keep saying, it's community, you know, and if you can grow the community and have a bunch of good people that, you know, look after each other, care for each other. I think a big thing that I haven't really mentioned is, like I've said, a safe space, but a big place, especially with my heart, and I think what shares with the rest of ATB is that a lot of women go out and unfairly gets, you know, hit on or gets spoken to, or, you know, sometimes, hey, let me buy you a drink, and then guys don't leave them alone.
Yeah.
You know? So we very against that. We want a safe place for women, and a big thing for us is like, if you a woman and you're not feeling comfortable and someone's making you feel uncomfortable, come talk to us. We'll have a polite conversation with the person, and if not, then maybe we'll get some authorities involved, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
But the whole point of it is must be a safe space for everyone, and a lot of guys think that a party space, it is a great environment to meet people, but a lot of people go out there, or I think historically, a lot of people go out to the hookup culture, you know, and I think it's just about bringing, like, you know, respect for women and making them feel safe. Like, just because they're attractive and they're looking good doesn't mean that they want to talk to you, or doesn't mean that they want to, you know, be with you or kiss you or whatever it is. And I think just be like more respectful to women, so they can have fun, because, you know, how often do you guys get up and you're like, I just want to go out with my mates, I just want to chat shit, I'm not interested in anyone else. I just want to go there, I want to listen to the music, and I just want to, like, my one mate. And unfortunately, in today's day and age, women don't really get that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's something that's personally resonated with me, I think, with the rest of ATB as well. But just giving, you know, like, women also want to go out and get dressed for themselves and look good for themselves, and don't want to be spoken to by every single guy at the party, and everyone walk past and say, hey, let me buy you a drink. They're not always about that. I'm not saying that they're never about that, but it's also just, you know, respecting people and creating that atmosphere that people feel safe.
I like that.
Yeah, I think treating people like people is the most important thing.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's like, it feels, like you said, it's a very old style of like going out and jolling culture and stuff like that, where I don't think promoters are there for the people, but I feel like you guys seeing yourselves as host is like, if someone is in my house being harassed by someone, what am I going to do about it? You know what I mean? Fucking put the screws to him.
Yeah, but also, you know, like, it doesn't have,
exactly.
like, I think that's the last resort.
Yeah,
you know?
No, yeah.
That's the last resort, you know, just be like, just running with the flying Superman punch, you know, like, exactly. So yeah, generally, like, and I think if any woman's ever listening to this, you know, just, if you are feeling uncomfortable, someone's making you feel uncomfortable, just, I think we're all there to just, you know, be a safe space, you know, because you said, like, sometimes they're enjoying it, sometimes they're not, but it's very hard to tell, because sometimes I feel like women have become very, like, they have to be polite, they have to be like, okay, it's okay, don't worry, he's okay, but like, sometimes actually, if they look back on the stage, they're like, actually wasn't okay in that stage, you know. So I think we're trying to promote a bit more of a culture of talking out, and, you know, getting people to be like, you know, this guy's bothering me, and hey man, please stop it.
Yeah.
You know, move along.
Enjoy the
not-
music, man.
Please move out.
Yeah,
You
all
know.
the best, baby.
All of these punches.
Nah, we all the love, man. We're not fighters, but yeah, I think
Yeah.
yeah. So hopefully it doesn't ever have to result in that, and we've never had to.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
and hopefully it stays that way. But
Yeah.
the point is that it must be even playing fields for everyone. And you know, like I was overseas and went to a party and literally was dancing. No one spoke to me the whole night. And sometimes most of the time, women don't have that privilege.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that's not spoken about enough.
No, respect.
I
Man.
like that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful fucking outlet. Well, I'm glad people like you are throwing parties, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, 100%. So
Yeah.
we did a little bit of back work for you. It is a lot of work, but it is back work.
Sure.
Davey, I don't know if you want to bring it up.
So we basically asked the All the Best crew to say what All the Best means to them. I thought it was going to be a very small sentence, but it turns out they love All the Best. It's a lot of paragraphs. Yeah.
So wait, is this members of all the best or
Yeah,
like-
members of All the Best.
Oh wow,
yeah.
I feel like it's like a little moment here.
A little bit of a
So
moment.
we're gonna try to do a guessing game, but they do get quite long. So you can read the
I'll
first
start
one.
the first one.
So I have to guess
I was
who
about
said
to
I
this.
would say
Name.
guess immediately there because they do get longer. So it's like I don't want you to have to think back to the first one and then.
Yeah. So the first one, I was about to read the name blind.
Everyone else was like, just
But I read it before it even
take a
started.
So All the Best isn't just our company name. It's a representation of the direction and sense of purpose that drives me as a professional in the dance music industry. Building something tangible with my best friends and seeing it grow has been one of the coolest experiences of my life. Even though it's a side venture to my 9-to-5, the sense of achievement and being part of a team of like-minded people makes it just as fulfilling and important as my main career. It's about balancing passion and purpose, and that's what All the Best means to me.
Sure, that could be everyone. Hey?
Yeah,
But I'm gonna have to say Pedro.
Oh no, it's off.
Off.
It's Josh.
Josh. Sure, hey? Yeah, like I said, like I feel like we all share that sentiment, you know,
Yeah.
like we all just there to do the same thing. It's like it's a bunch of mates just trying to have a good time and share that love with everyone.
Yeah, 100%.
Here's my second guess, by the way. I don't know if that's any confirmation. Can you edit that part out? Josh, it was Josh.
Yeah.
Josh,
Not
editor Dylan, fix this.
You're gonna be doing a back with it.
Do you want to read the next one?
I'll get this one.
Cool.
I'm sorry for any stuttering. I feel like I'm doing an Afrikaans speech or
I
something.
feel like I might have to share some tears here.
Yeah, no, it's
Like if that was the first one, yo.
Yeah.
All the Best is more about putting on shows. It's about crafting experiences that bring people together in meaningful ways. It's a group of friends that want to create spaces where people feel safe, connected, and feel free to enjoy amazing music that resonates with them. It's about creating moments that people will remember, whether it's a sense of community, discovering a favorite artist, or simply having a great night out. Music has always been a big part of my life, and it's a universal language that brings people closer. Being able to create events where people can lose themselves in music and in the moment. That's what drives me. We also felt that Johannesburg was missing something like All the Best, a space where music and community could merge in a way that feels fresh and authentic. The city has so much energy and creativity, and we wanted to bring events that focus on creating an unforgettable experience for people.
Sure, this is so hard.
Oh wait,
man.
there's more even. let's see if you can get it from that, and then if not, then I'll let me just read it.
Just read it, yeah.
Alright. So to me, All the Best is many things. It's a passion project, it's a music sense, it's a community. It's an experiment, but I think to summarize at a high level, All the Best is an outlet for us to bring together all the best of people that we find and provide for them a safe space with great music and essentially see what happens. And so far, only good shit has been happening.
Jeez, I'm trying to like pick up little nuances of who says who talks this way, but yo.
Oh wait, it's not.
Yeah, it's between two people there. It's,
Mm.
I think it's Andrew, but I think it also could be Ryan.
So you got what I made a mistake. It was Ryan for the top and Andrew for the bottom. So you get full marks there. 'Cause I wasn't sure what the name was. I made a mistake. So you got it.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's the bottom one.
Respect. And the last one, who could it be? ATB is a growing community of just all the best people, vibes, and times. In a city, Johannesburg, where the music scene often feels dark and intense, ATB is creating an alternative space where you can have fun without losing yourself to the pressures of the moment. It's a place where you can grow at your own pace, finding balance between the excitement of the night and the authenticity of your own vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it could be everyone.
It could be
It could
everyone.
be everyone because,
Yeah.
like, I think all these things that have been said, like, everyone shares these sentiments. You know,
Yeah,
like we all have like, and I think just to touch on that thing is that universal, like, music is a universal language. A friend showed me a post. I don't know if you've seen it. I think it's from the drum and bass community. It's like, imagine how many people you wouldn't have met if it wasn't for music.
100%.
And like, I was like, sure, you know, like
Wow,
that's real. Hey, love you, Peds.
yeah.
Just by the way, but yeah, I think that's the difference. You know, like, I think within, you know, there's a lot of within. I don't know if our music categorized as underground or not. You know, mainstream, not. I don't know where we exactly we fit in here.
It has to be underground.
Mm.
You throw parties in town, it has to be underground.
Yeah, maybe one day at Ethel Grey Park, but yeah. But no, I think the thing of it is like we try and cater to different people. So like, I think historically our parties are a little bit older, like maybe 25, not as much catered to the 18-year-olds. Nothing against them, but I think that our music resonates with the older crowd. I think also something I've realized is the older you get, the slow BPMs you like. You like a bit more flowy and stuff. So I love it when we see like 50, 60-year-olds at our party, you know, and like I've had like 70-year-olds at our parties, you know.
Crazy.
It's crazy, and I think it's that community of like we were saying in one of those comments is like of light, you know, where it's something bringing light to a place where it doesn't make a difference who you are, what you look like, what your background is. You can something that you can all resonate to.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah.
The thing I found the most interesting about like reading all of those is like obviously you didn't know what they were gonna say. They didn't know what each other was gonna say. But there's just this clear vision from all of you.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's so easy. It's so lucky to be like have all this amazing group of people. Just because like, you know, I think within any company, you know, you have to have like a moral and a vision and an ethos, and sometimes, you know, like generally the C-suite, the top people, they understand it, and then the low goes down. And not to say that anyone's low in this instance, but I think, you know, even from our suppliers and from the people that even our attendees, they all share this vision. You know, like everyone gets it, and it's like you could ask if you were saying like to a random person that's been to one or two of our parties, I'd like to think that they say something similar. You know,
Definitely that.
That's very true. Yeah.
so yeah, I think like I think what you were saying is that with the host, like we creating our space. This is our space, and we want to invite you in.
No.
You know,
Yeah,
Just-
100%.
The party's gonna happen. We want you there, though.
exactly.
Yeah.
You
And
are
if you have to be a puss, be puss lacquer.
Hey.
But yeah, I think you can edit that out. Don't be saying puss.
Check it out.
Josh.
We don't swear. You had ATB, no swear words.
No.
Only good vibes and fruits.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys come to our parties, we have like a little. Don't want to give it away too much,
Oh.
you know, but we have a little like table with like panados, rennies. If you have like
Oh,
a heartburn,
Nice.
we have a little few sweets and stuff, some chewing gum.
Heartburn's a real one.
Yeah, so okay, so you're under the bus, eh?
No, I'm all. I'm good.
But yeah, so I think that's the thing, is just trying to cater to what do you think? What would you like at that time of the party? I like a little what's it even called? There's little sour sweet or sour worm, whatever.
Love
You know,
those
or like,
things. I saw from the Instagram stories. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm missing out there.
so that's
I
all.
wanted sour worms.
Yeah, just
Imagine sour worms dueling.
So I was looking at Groove saying, shit, man, I really want sour. There's a garage down the road. He said, why didn't I
I should go to Troyville to get sweets.
Troyville sweets, baby.
yeah. I mean, even we did a co-host at a party called Nomadic. at Ann Club, and we brought out a box of lollipops and sweets and just walk around the dance floor like, hey, you'd like some? And they're like, some people are like, no, I'm good.
I'll be honest,
Some
I
people
was
like,
very skeptical the first time
Of?
when you guys brought fruit out.
Everyone's like, what's in this? And we're like,
Yeah, that was what these two were telling me, because I took the watermelon and it's like, do you know what's in it? And I'm like, there's nothing in it. They wouldn't give you fruit that was laced.
Yeah.
How would you lace fruit as well?
yeah, I mean, I think also within the party scene, like, there should be, like, everyone wants to share. And if you do want to give someone that's, you know, soaked in alcohol or something, or something
Just
else
tell
in
them.
it, just tell them. Exactly.
Immediately.
Most people are pretty open.
Yeah.
And most people
want it.
understand, and they'll probably say, yeah, lacquer, I'll take that.
Mm.
But just be open to it. Like, you know, just, there's nothing worse than someone being like, you know, like, oh, this watermelon soaked in alcohol, and the next second the guy's like, bro, I haven't drank in 3 years.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
just
like,
broke my sobriety.
Yeah,
It's
like I've been working really hard on this. Like, you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So let's try to just respect each other, and just like, if there's, just say it, you know.
It's like my favorite saying that I've never heard before, ever. I always said it, I've never heard it from anyone else. If you're going to be a puss, be puss like. Now that you've taken his out, I sound original.
Brilliant. You can claim it.
Oh, goodness, man. Yeah.
Phone's falling.
So, what, in terms of the future of ATB, the future of Kind Regards, are you most excited for?
Sure, I think. Well, I've actually been making my own track with Josh. Yeah, me and Josh have been sitting in the studio making
Yes,
our first
boss.
track.
Is it the questions I miss you, babe.
Yeah, so me and Josh been sitting in the studio, and he's sharing some his valuable wisdom with me, and getting into making something. So we almost finished our first track and really started on our second one.
That's amazing.
Where did Juicebox come from?
Juicebox. That was my next part.
Yeah.
I think with you guys the same thing. You know, like, imagine you're doing this podcast by yourself. It's way better to do it with a mate. You know?
Yeah.
So Juicebox came. I'm not the biggest drinker, right? So like generally when I used to DJ, like I used to bring juice boxes
Nice.
to parties. So
It's nice. It's
and
safe.
then me and Andrew used to DJ together before back, and I was like, hey man, you want a juice box? And then he would bring some juice boxes, and we both wanted to start this project where it was like, Andrew historically or predominantly used to play a lot of down tempo, which I love, you know, and I generally play a lot more of the indie and the disco and stuff. And we both love all different types of music, and we were like, we don't get to play this other kind of music because this is what our brand is, so to speak, or, you know, this is what Sex and Dex does, and this is what Kind Regards does. So let's make something that's we can explore out of the limitations of what we do. As we like to call it, we genre fluid.
Oi.
I like that.
Yeah. So also I think within, like, most DJs, like, you know, everyone says like, what genre do you play? And you're like, play a little bit of this, play a bit of that, you know. So like generally when people ask me what do you play, I'm like, yeah, indie dance, and they're like, what's that? I'm like, disco. I play disco.
I played disco.
Because that's what people know, you know. But I think it's a bit more than that, you know. Dabble a little bit of techno, dabble a little bit of house, dabble a little bit of everything, you know. Yeah, so I think you don't want to be confined to one type of sound or one genre. And I think also every event and every party demands something different, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
And I love trying something new, stepping out of the comfort zone, you know. Yeah.
That's
I like it. That's where you should be as well. Always
Yeah.
pushing yourself.
I feel like that is that thought process and starting to produce, literally. Like, I love
man.
pushing myself out of my comfort zone.
That's
I'm
why I'm
prepared to
making music.
Never be comfortable.
Sure,
ever
man.
again.
Sure. And then you see these guys like releasing songs like every week, and you're like, oh my word. Like,
Who's the ghostwriter?
Not even that. Like, it's just like, I've seen some, like, heard of some people, seen some people in the studio, and they just and they just know everything what to do, and it's just like, some people can bust out a track in 2 hours, you know.
Jeez,
100%.
So, and I think also like building sound banks and stuff like that, you know, creating like a sound that you're like, oh,
Sample
okay, this
packs,
this doesn't work so well. No, like I'm saying, within your own sounds.
Oh, yeah.
So you make your own sound, and you're like, okay, well, this doesn't work so well here, but let me save the sound, and then you use it here, and you're like, oh, this works here, and maybe this works here. So using that same sound,
that's
but in a different formation or different pattern. But yeah, it's a whole nother world, man. Sure, it's petrifying and but also beautiful because, and thank God, I'm so lucky that I have someone to hold my hand, through this journey. Because Josh is a really talented trance producer, so I think it's also something out of his comfort zone to play something a bit, a bit more mellow, and switch it up a bit. But I think that's always try and do something different. But I think also within doing something different, stick to what you do. And I think that's what some of my favorite artists, they play all different types of music, but you can always almost recognize that's them, and you like a beat or a synth or something like that, and you're like, oh, I know that, I know it from that song, I know it from that, I know that artist, without having to even hear the song before.
100%. Yeah.
Get your own. What do they call? What does Deborah DeLuca have? I don't like them. It's weird. It's like your watermark.
Say that again.
It's like a watermark
Yeah.
for your track. I forget the name. There's a name for. No,
What's your sound?
no, because there's like forget
Oh,
it.
a tag.
A tag.
It's Deborah DeLuca's
it's not a
tag.
tag. It's the.
exactly. And then first 5 seconds is Jason Derulo's track.
He's Virgie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want to throw myself in a hole.
No, man, you were right. Yeah. A producer tag.
Mike Wilmy. Yeah.
I had a friend in high school that every time I'd be try to sing him a song, he's like, oh, another one. Mary had a little lamb, and I was like, oh, why did you be such an ass? I'm trying to play your song that I think you would know. Yeah. So not very talented in the in the singing or
We did that our whole childhood, but it was always the Root Sandstorm.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Wasn't-
overplayed.
as well.
Joke. You did it too, yeah. Everyone played Darude. Yeah.
Yeah, I love bringing that stuff in. So I mean, personally, I don't have a Sandstorm remix, but I would love one if anyone has one there.
Gotta find.
Share the bootleg.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
Share
play
some
a
love.
bootleg.
A funk bootleg as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just on the podcast now.
And everyone's like, yeah, here's a song. Don't you want to just make a remix of this? I'm like, bro, I've been how long it takes to make one song?
I can't just by mistake make a remix of it.
Yeah, it took me I said, a few months, hours in the studio just to come up with something, but yeah, I think a lot of 80s, I got quite a few Queen remixes, some Depeche Mode, some
That's
recently got sent a very special unreleased U2 remix.
Oh.
So yeah, I think it's just for me it's about having a different sound, but then bringing something that people will recognize and familiar. People love singing along to music,
100%.
Doesn't have to just be on the radio, So blending that element with something, someone said to me the other day, what kind of music do you like? And I was like, I like my music to sit here. I like it to be a little bit grungy, but also a little bit got a bit of vocal so you can sing along. It doesn't have to be too hard, but I want to get it in my hips, I want to be
jiving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but on that note, I listen to all different types of music. I love it all. I think there's a time and place for everything.
100%.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys some questions?
Of course.
Yeah, I love
Hey?
it. Get
Can we swing it around
here?
here?
So stressed, but I love it.
Yeah, firstly, what inspired you guys to do this? Dig what you guys are doing. Big
Oh,
fans of you.
Yeah.
And I think what we share a lot is, it's crowd engagement. It's you go to the party scene, you ask people different questions, and I think also sometimes you have a bit of a harder job, getting a camera in people's faces and stuff, and people I know I would be like that, but what inspired you guys to do this, and what keeps you guys doing this?
You go first.
Oh, what keeps us? That's a good one. You can take that one because I don't want to answer that. I think what started it.
Easy.
I think what started it was clout and woman, and now we have it. So we're gonna stop. No, so we used to, me and Davey, get into a lot of random shenanigans where we'd end up at his house at ungodly hours of the morning. It would only be us two, and we'd be chatting shit and be like, oh, we should start a podcast. And then
typical.
COVID happened, and then we were just inside all the time online playing GTA. Like, it was like our day jobs, literally.
We made so much
we
money.
made so much money.
So much money.
And had so many girls.
So much fake money.
So much fake. I don't have a sense of it in real life to show for it, but trust me. And we were literally like, oh, we should. Even Tyler was in those chats. Shout out Tyler. We're in his house. But yeah, we were literally like, we should start a podcast. Or just take our party chats and make it into a podcast. And then that never worked. And then, like, coming out of COVID, like, I started working. Davey was working. We finally had enough, like, bits and bobs to, like, start something.
Revenue, yeah.
The first episode, gosh.
No one will ever see it.
No one will ever see it. It was inside David's garage. I think a rat ran over his foot during. It was crazy. Then Dill came back from Cape Town, and then he's obviously studied film and loves this stuff so much. And it literally
Good
just
save,
fell.
good save.
Yeah. He loves the shit so much that it's just
Oh, that's brilliant.
yeah, it just all fell into place, and it was like, I don't know, it felt nice because at the start it was like, oh, we're doing the thing that we want to do, and then like after like people started like liking it and engaging and stuff, it was like, oh, other people actually like it like we thought they would. This is nice. And then I don't even know how we ended up pivoting into like nightlife. I think it was because it was all we did. Like, we literally post COVID, all we did was just draw.
Right, was it lacking? You were like, I want to just be out with people and like dance and like
exactly.
it's cool dancing with 5 friends, but
Yeah,
like I want some people I don't know sometimes, you know, and like have different shenanigans and different conversations, you know.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what keeps us going?
and what keeps us going?
I think it's, I mean, depending on what side we're looking at it, if we're looking at like the interviews for like DJs and like event organizers and things, it's one person said that like it was this random like drunk conversation that Lebs had where it was like you guys are like curating like what do you call it?
Or
Okay.
documenting.
Yeah,
I've
documenting.
seen, yeah.
You guys are like documenting like things that wouldn't have been seen before, and it's like realize that like in SA it's like you kind of there's a big lacking point for like visual content around like nightlife and things like that.
Yeah, 100%.
And like also it's like the roots that we have, because like magazines and like CD launches and music videos are all like gone now from like what it used to be on like TV and stuff like that. So it's like if we can add a bit of that could be quite exciting.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
And like I think also people like just enjoying themselves in the natural elements. You know, you don't normally see camera crews. It's normally taking pictures of the crowd or pictures of the things, but not actually saying, "Hey man, how's your night going?
Yeah.
Like, what's something crazy that happened to you tonight?" You know.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's because it's like from when you go to an event and like if there's nothing else there, it's like you might get a picture and you might enjoy yourself, and it's like the enjoying yourself that's good, that's worth it, but it's like there's nothing else tangible that you get from that. Sometimes that's enough, but then if there's more content around, then it kind of like adds to it. It's like, oh, remember when we saw that person, they had this conversation.
Yeah, I'll often find like with certain interviews and things that we've done, I would have forgotten it otherwise.
Yeah.
So like I'll go through like raw footage of like a party we went to, like when we did the Hey Neighbor stuff. That was just a cool thing to do in general, just like insane for like us as mates to have like 2 years ago started something, and now we're literally working media at this massive
That's
festival.
epic, man. Well
Yeah,
done.
no, thanks, man. Yeah, but it's like of that experience, so much happened, and I feel like we were all wrapped up in doing a good job that we didn't really get to experience as much of it. But there were those pockets of like, oh yeah, we're just mates chilling. Like I found a video of Dylan waking up in the Airbnb the other day, just giving me the finger, and I was just like, yo, wow, what a state we were in.
Yeah.
Like the hubbly that we have is a constant reminder as well, because that morning we got kicked out of our Airbnb because we slept in or something, and then had to rush to like get out. But
What about these checkouts at 10 a.m., bro? Like, come
Yeah,
on.
that's-
Come on, dude. Come on. Like, what do you expect? Like,
Jordan's package.
yeah, like,
Exactly.
like you know we're coming to a party. We Airbnb this because we're coming to a party. We told you coming to a party.
Exactly.
Who's coming to stay at your Airbnb
No
on
one's
Sunday
coming.
night, bro? Like,
You
who's
told
coming?
me I had to check in at 2.
Exactly.
What's happening?
That is the shit, because like we were there, like I think I was shirtless, and then like someone knocks on the door. It's like, hi, it's like you guys are meant to leave now. It's like
And it's been like an hour.
we'll leave.
But then ending up at like Uncle Fauzi's and literally just the three of us editing, like getting ready for the last day of the festival, all of that, and it's like recording those moments, because like I often wonder, because I record a lot of stuff just on my phone. But like, people always say, "Oh, but it takes you out of the moment." I'm like, not really. Like, I can do that for like 5 seconds, then it's gone, and then I'm in the moment again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have a friend who's a bit of an influencer.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, but often there's a camera in your face. And you're like, bro, not the time. Like,
I'm being
But then-
so deep with you.
But then, like a year later, like you post that picture and you're like, all at a party, you know, and you're like, yo, I forgot about that moment, you know, like that was lacquer, and like we hated you for that at the moment, but I love you for it now. You know?
Literally that as well.
What? You never get angry at me.
And then, but I think as well, one thing that I remembered as well, like I was looking at, I think it was like Sheet Fest or some other festival from like a container yard, and I was thinking like it'd be so cool if there were more videos from that to see what it was like.
Yeah.
I think I want to add that in. That's why we do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
I was like,
we were shifting back and forth, and then that's it.
Yeah, but also I think what you guys are also doing is bringing emphasis to the crowd. You know, and I think there's not enough emphasis on that. You know, like everyone always sees the stage and the people on the stage, but like for me, it's all about the crowd.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm up there, I often go up to people, and it's not like I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I'm like, hey man, I saw you dancing the whole time, and thank you for dancing because you actually gave me energy.
Yeah.
You gave me inspiration because I was like, that guy's having a good time. If no one else is there, I'll play for that guy.
Yeah.
Just because he's such a good vibe. And like, I think there's not enough appreciation for the audience and the people that actually come, because I was saying it now, this last weekend was at a Africa Burn fundraiser, and like, you can put all the stages, you can put all the biggest sound, you can put all the things, but if there's no people,
It's not
means
worth it.
nothing.
it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Just a canvas,
Exactly. Like you know, you can have all the production, but not enough people. Like that, people make it, and I think there needs to be some more focus on that. So yeah, well done. I love what you guys are doing, and like just keep going. And my last question to you,
Okay, yeah.
since we like played the Uno reverse card, here,
Yeah.
how many times have you guys thought of quitting?
Seriously, or like,
Yeah.
because it's daily.
But no, I'm just saying from my own experience. I'm not trying to say like,
No, yeah.
please don't quit. Like, I love what you guys are doing, but I'm just saying like sometimes you're like, sure, this is so hard, it's so hard, and then like I'm sure also like when you're starting out, you know, like you're recording this content, you're doing all these things, you're spending time, you're like preparing for it, and then you're like, shit, like no one even watched that video.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know. I don't know if that. I don't
That's
know
a
if
big
it's
thing for the editing.
I don't know.
think.
I don't know if it's been like that for you. You know, but like sometimes, like I think with us in the beginning, we were like, we get asked to DJ, we get asked to play, we get asked to this, and sometimes you're like, sure, this I worked so hard on this, and
Nothing
know,
came
like-
from it, kind of thing.
maybe it's like you said, like often we like, okay, if this one doesn't go well, we closing up shop, you know, and like,
we take the bag and we leave.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think seriously I've ever.
I think only
amazing.
Yeah.
I hope that day never comes, man,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, like it's. I think then we need more of this. We need more of people just having honest conversations, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And also like, you know, like I was saying, just what is your experience of this? You know, because we like music is a universal language, but language is also quite limited in itself. You know, I can tell you what I'm thinking, and I can portray that into words, and you can interpret it in a completely different way.
Exactly.
You know, like I did this exercise years ago of how you say same thing in different tones, and how it can be perceived differently.
Yeah.
And just that the talking of, you know, constantly communicating, like as much as it's the best way of like telling people how you feel, it's still limited, you
Yeah.
know? And it's really epic. I think just let's chat some more, let's you know,
100%.
let's gather more,
Yeah, that's
you know.
extended kind of thing. I like
Yeah.
that.
Let's just get all the best different things and put them together.
Exactly, make the circle bigger. Yeah,
There's it.
And with that, everybody, the helicopter is landing. Dill's finally giving us our noise. But thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Vaabs podcast. Don't even know what episode on, but thank you so much, kind regards, for being on and
Yeah.
shedding
thank you,
some
thank you
nice
for having
light in
me.
your
This was
outlook.
really fun.
And thank you for everything that you do as well.
Oh, last thing. Tickets for our party. You guys have at your own discretion can give out 2 tickets to our party on the 7th of September.
Oh,
Wait,
we're gonna make it a Hunger Games situation.
100%. Two
A treasure
fans
hunt.
who show us our body first. Gets a cup.
MMA fight. Top 2 win. fisticuffs, no contact.
So
Lead us out, Lebs.
Kind regards, you've been absolutely amazing, homie. Where can the people find you on the socials?
yeah, my Instagram's kind regards ZA, but always push all the best SA.
Yeah.
Then also part of Juicebox, Sex on Decks. What is this? Pedro. Yeah, there's so many out there, but just
all the bras, yeah.
all the bros, just spread the love, show them some love, and see you on the next dance floor.
See you on the 7th.
See you on
On
the
the
7th,
7th.
ladies and gentlemen. And as always, from us here at Vaabs Podcast, I've been Libs. To the right has been Davey. Back there's been Dull. This has been Ty's house. Please contact him for any bookings. And
He's
as
cheating.
always, keep vibing. Way.